Well, first of all, just looking behind me at the WBCA Challenge, I remember being in the room with Danielle when this sort of originated, and Courtney and I were serving together on the board at that time, and we said we signed up, we wanted to be a part from the very beginning. And part of that is because we want to grow the game, and part of that is because we're so committed to growing the WBCA, and we're so appreciative of how it serves its constituents. So it's really an honor to play in this inaugural event that way. Second of all, I want to thank you guys. I'm actually surprised that we don't have more of you here for a arguably top 10 matchup, and so it just speaks to you guys, your guys' character and care for the game, that you're here covering it, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for being here. Lots of emotion and ups and downs in this game. Credit to North Carolina. I thought they came out, they were the aggressor in the first quarter. They really sped us up. We weren't as, we didn't dictate how the game was played. They dictated how the game was played. There was a point in the second quarter that 18 out of their 20-something points were off of our turnovers or offensive rebounds. 18 of 20-something. And the rest of the game, only 2 points off of offensive rebounds or our turnovers. That's the difference in the game right there. And so we need to play more consistently to our character and to our style of play, but also credit to North Carolina for how they imposed their will in the first part about the game, but I was pleased with how we responded.
Great. Questions for our student athletes?
Charlisse, I'd like to start with you. This building has a special meaning to you. I was here a couple of years ago.
We're glad she's on our team now.
I was telling Cori earlier, it was one of the most touching press conferences, and I think you and I talked at Pac-12 Media Day the next year. Do you still sort of revisit that? I mean, when you think about this arena and when being here tonight, does it still, obviously it's got to hold still a special place in your heart?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to. I think arenas kind of hold memories, and when you step back into those spaces, it's kind of automatic that you kind of relive moments that you've played, especially here. But at the same time, coming in with like a whole different team and a different program and different goals in mind, it's also very easy just to focus on that and tap into what we need to do today. But yeah, great memories here, and just add another one to the thing.
That was certainly a year for you. I'll just put it that way. Kiki, what has her presence meant to this program for you?
Yeah, having Char here has been so great. I remember my first 2 years in college playing against her, and always knowing that she's one of the best guards in the country, one of the best guards in the Pac-12, and she was super hard to scout, super hard to guard. So now that she's on this team, it's just so incredible to have another point guard and then backcourt, and the way that she works, the way that she leads, and just how mature Char is something that we really value on this team. And I think you can see the collective maturity that we have as a group, and that's led by Char in a large part just because she's had so much experience and is such a solid, consistent player for us that we all trust and believe in her. So we're just excited to have her on the team now.
Cori, with that, that right there, in terms of her experience, right, and her leadership ability, you think back to that championship game and what she did for that team, knowing that the players that you have, that you've recruited, and then you have her to count on, it's almost an extension of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And just the maturity level. Can you just...
Well, I'm not supposed to answer this because I'm supposed to wait till they're done, but I'll cheat
right.
one time.
My
one thing about Char is that I talk about this all the time. My first phone call with her mom, when she went into the portal, her mom said, there's just going to be times where you're going to hand over the clipboard and want her input. And I actually feel that way about both of these two. They are trustworthy. They've put in the work. They complement each other, and it's just been awesome. But I actually try not to remember that last game here. But I sure am excited. As soon as Charlisse went into the portal, it was sort of like how Gianna was for us this year. It was like, that's who we need. And we thought it was going to be earlier, but in the silver lining is we got 2 years with her instead of one. But she's made a tremendous difference in our program, and how lucky am I that I have two lead guards like this.
I know you're on deadline.
Yeah, Kiki, could you speak to facing Elena who you played with and seeing how she came out really playing well and How weird was that for you?
Yeah, no, Alina is a great player, and it was fun to play against her today to see her again, and I think you can see the growth that she's made and how much better she's gotten. I think she's really confident out there, and it's been it's been great to see her be successful, and I'm happy there. So obviously excited. I think it was obviously a big matchup. I know she's going to want to come out and play hard, and she's a competitor, and so it's just fun to be out there with her. But obviously wishing her the best of luck, and she's a great person.
All right,
Sure.
go ahead. No.
Anything of that?
About tonight's game, second half, y'all put it together, and I was talking to my colleague, you see the rebounding edge, and you immediately think Lauren, but then you look, there's like 4 players with at least 8 rebounds, including yourself, Keith. It's really balanced with wherever you want to look at on the stat sheet with how talented this team is for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it right there is we say this all the time, but we really do have a team that any night, anyone can come out and make huge impacts in the game. And you, just like you said, it's balanced across the score sheet, whether that's points, assists, rebounding, and, especially in games like this when there is so much focus on keeping Lauren off the boards or double teaming her or whatever, everyone else around her has to step up in those areas, and we've had a big focus on guard rebounding, and obviously, Kiki can get in there. All of our guards really try to get in there and help with that. So I think it comes back to, again, the experience, the maturity, and just understanding that we don't have to rely on 1 or 2 people every night to, do it for us. We can all kind of step up in different areas and really help out.
Has that made it a lot more fun to prepare for this season for both of you?
For sure, I think the depth and the variety of ways we can score, we can defend, we can just play in general has made it super fun because we know it's hard to game plan against us, and just as a group that really is, I feel like has a high basketball IQ and wants to get better, and we're able to be challenged in different ways because of the different ways that we're able to play.
All right, so I got another one on weight.
I got time for one more before we gotta get into the ice bath.
Oh, I got one more just away from the game. A mutual friend of ours, Char, told me that when you retire or you're done, you're going to be a major social media mogul.
Influencer is our influencer
Who
right
said
here.
that?
I heard that you're a big influencer.
Yes.
I'll tell you after. But how much fun is it for you to do that, and then Kiki to have, this is your influencer right here.
Right,
Yes.
the LA crowd.
If I'm an influencer.
But you chronicled the Big Ten media days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's just fun, being in LA, being around a great team. There's just so many opportunities to get outside of basketball and show people kind of the behind the scenes. And that's really what I want to focus on and what I've kind of been doing, especially, last year I had a lot of time to do things outside of basketball. And that was, one way to not only just show people here, but show people back home. I'm really big on kids back home, seeing that there's a pathway over here in the States and it's not really shown as much. And if I'm able to do that and kind of inspire people to come over and play and just see how many cool things there is to do over here, that's what I want to do. So it's a big, part of my brand, I guess, and what I want to kind of help in the community. And so it's just been a fun little,
And dance choreography too.
and dancing.
You're all up on TikTok.
Yeah. But it's fun.
All right, go get in the ice bath.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. You have to tell me who that is.
Any other questions, or do you need anything else from me?
Could you speak to, I prefer North Carolina, so I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
absolutely.
Elena's
Yeah.
game today, and she seemed to be coming out very
Yeah.
high energy and playing well.
Well, of course, you know that you expect that, and her energy. I can't believe I left it in the hotel, but I wrote her a note today, and I just think she's such a quality individual. She's a great player. She's an excellent person. She's got a fun personality. She was an elite teammate, and of course, tonight I didn't want her to do great. I wanted us to win, but for her life and for her career, I'm for her, and I'm excited for her. And it was great seeing her play with that confidence and sort of that moxie, and I really have the utmost respect, and our team does too for E. And honestly, outside of when we play him, I'm going to be watching and thrilled for whatever happens. And she really was and I hugged her on our line through, and I said, "You will always have a place in the Bruin hearts." and we wish you nothing but the best. And I really mean that. And so, thrilled for her. I love her family is wonderful, and so really excited for what's next for her.
Thanks.
If you have anything, okay.
Corey, I just got one for you. I also want to go back a couple of years. That same tournament, Kiki was a freshman, and you and I sat out there, and we talked about how special she was going to be. And the one quote that I've repeated at least 12 times a year since radio, whatever it is, she said, I want to be, how special it would be, I want to be the one that helps bring the first national championship. How have you seen her mature into this incredible person, not just basketball player?
Person and athlete and player and teammate and leader in the community. Like, that's the thing that makes her so special. I think she's gotten 1B at UCLA so far. I mean, she's just, she has a standard of excellence that is just, it's not only unmatched, it's contagious. And we had a pro day where we had all the WNBA teams came and watched all of our practice, and the feedback I got, I just can't believe the work ethic, how this mirrors the pros. And I have to point back to Kiki. It was that way, and that's one of the reasons we got Gianna. She goes, I've been the only one for a long time that's had this level of work ethic, and now I'm one of many. And that started because of the leadership of Kiki Rice. And so just so excited for who she's become. I'm a big believer that championships are a byproduct of who they are becoming and who they're impacting, and that they get to keep forever. And our hope is that a byproduct of those great choices, those character growth things that they choose and they work so hard for, yields the uncommon result of a national championship. But we always want that to pale in comparison to who they're becoming and who they're impacting, because that they will keep forever.
Then to follow and piggyback and